Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know if the music is too loud or is it fine. How do I sound? We all good on the sound? What's up, Jacob? What's up, Shane, Brady, Jack, Peoples, Eric, David? What's up, Devin, Justin, Driz, React, Oaktown, John, Chef? Good morning, good morning. No music? Check your sound. I can turn it up here, maybe. Appreciate the weekend scenario vid and SPX chart. No problem, man. Full named for full appreciation. For real, I thought my mom was calling me for a second. Joshua. But yes, no problem, man. I'm actually having a lot of fun creating those videos. And this week, because it was the fourth one, I mean, not like the number matters, but just because I had already done a few with you guys, the scenarios videos, that is, I actually posted this one public in my Discord. So if you're in the Discord at all, you can actually scroll up in my channel. It's called Bueller-TA, and you can actually check that out. So I would go over to these to this video in my Discord if you can check it out. You won't see this thumbnail. I don't have the thumbnail there. It's just this title here. I added everything from the description and everything. But we've done 4 of them now, and they're some of my favorite videos because it literally encompasses everything that I like to kind of go over. You know, I don't like to just sit here and go, all right, guys, we're super bearish, or all right, guys, we're super bullish. You know, that's too, I'm not going to say easy. I feel like that's just too, like, ignorant. You know, I feel like you're getting tunnel vision by saying only look at this for puts or only look at this for calls. You know, when I every day love to sit here and talk about both sides of the story. It's okay, Dondu. I knew you were kidding. It's when I don't know you're kidding it becomes a problem. Good morning, Randy. Good morning, Ace. Good morning, Mel. My thumbnails are heating up. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I've been making those myself. You'd be surprised how long some of those thumbnails take me. Alright, but guys, get serious. As you guys can see on the far left of my screen, you can see Wednesday, May 31st. You can see all the news coming out about... Hold on, let me read what I typed out. It's a little easier to understand. Where am I at? Here we are. Okay, so news in 30 minutes after open from job openings. More news in 3 hours after open from the Fed speaker. Another Fed speaker 4 hours after open, so an hour after that other Fed speaker. And then the last 2 hours of the day, 2 hours right before market close, we have another piece of news coming out with the Beige Book. So be very careful with that. Beige Book. English is stupid. But today on SPY here, intraday though. Actually, let's jump out to the smaller time or bigger time frame first, and then we'll talk about the smaller time frame, and then market should be open by then. But as you guys can see, in that scenarios video, we talked about who has control where, and even if you don't have YouTube membership access, that's still no excuse for not being updated on what's happening, because I go over the bigger and the smaller time frame at the beginning and end of every single stream just to make sure we're re-updated again, kind of like getting into the next piece of the puzzle, you know, the next day. So as you guys can see, we actually did open higher yesterday, which is a bullish breakout. I'm sorry to tell everybody this, but that is bullish as hell. That is super bullish. Us coming back down, not really that surprising. Makes sense to retest. What are we doing now, though? We're losing control. We're losing control of what could have been a good, very good short-term retest for bullish control to the upside. They tried to hold the level they need to. They're not holding, though. They're going to have to come back down. So we're going to see them most likely come back down and test top of this blue zone, which I assume they're already touching. There you go, smack dab right on it right before open. So I would expect buyers at open as long as this defends, and if they want to, they could send us all the way down to 415. So be aware of that down to 415 is possible today. Bounces right at open is very possible considering we've already cascaded down back to this support. And if we do get a buyer reaction, where are they most likely headed? About 420, 421 area, which again makes sense because again this is where they've been stuck on the bigger time frame. 420 to 4, it's like 419 to 421 is essentially where they're stuck. But yeah, bigger time frame making things a lot easier to kind of understand, a lot easier to trust, if that makes sense. Market's opening in about 10 seconds, everybody. All right, now let's see what happens. We got SPY right at support, like I said, probably getting some buyers out of that. As you guys can see, I already had the watch list set too. I kind of set some just kind of vague levels here for Microsoft and Netflix because, I mean, that's really all it is vague levels. We got 334 here, which is actually the better break above. That's why I set that more vague level way up there. And then you have the previous day low, which lines up with the extended hours low. Pre-market low at 330.50. So you got a range between there, about a $3.50 range. And then Netflix is kind of the same thing. I kind of gave them just a vague range too. You know, normally I like to type out stop loss targets, all that good stuff. But I mean, it really is just this vague above 397.50. I like it a lot. It's above the yesterday's open. It's above where they kind of struggled against. And then to the downside, 380, 390s. It's down below. Where am I at? Oh, down here. It's down below the next bigger time frame level, which also exceeds past the previous day low. So that's kind of what gets me excited about that. We'll see if that ends up pushing through or not. We'll see if comms end up picking it back up. And then for my SPX traders, I set some good levels, which it looks like SPX is starting under previous day low, but they're still above that next bigger time frame level. So that's what you're going to really be looking under is 4180s. Buyers are going to be looking above this blue area. Anything in between, it's kind of like a do not touch area. And then, of course, NVIDIA, you guys are well aware of, which they're getting buyers at open. We'll see if that ends up holding. I'm actually pretty confident you'll see them come down a little bit more over the next few days. I just don't know if it's going to all happen at once. I don't want to sit here and be like, it's definitely coming down to 372 and 380 and 390. Like, no, I don't know that. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I also don't think it's going to happen fast. You guys are very aware of what happened with Meta a long time ago. Let me go to a chart that isn't completely messed up. Let's just clean this one. You remember this big gap here? The ultimate gap? Look, we're still fighting to fill that gap. You know, it's crazy. You guys remember Netflix a long time ago, them having, you know, a couple large gaps like this. You know, and it took a very long time for them to get back into just to the ranges, let alone to fill them. You know, so don't expect this to fill super fast. I'm bringing this up because it's the same example as NVIDIA. You know, just because it's up, don't expect it to come right back down to here super fast. Is it most likely going to test this over time? Most likely. But is it going to do it instantly? Most likely not. So be very careful. SPY just getting some buyers into resistance. Like I said, you'll probably see some buyers at open, but it doesn't really mean anything if they can't get past this blue area. So this is essentially what they need to get past. This is a combination really of your previous day low demand. I just extended it a little bit more to include our bigger time frame level here at 418.50. So that's why you have me sitting there on that. Apple, goodbye reaction. AMD, indecisive. Microsoft, goodbye reaction. Same as NVIDIA and Apple. Amazon tanking. Tesla tanking. Google indecisive at open. Meta also making a new low. Netflix rejecting. Good resistance. Again, that's a bigger time frame level right under the previous day close. Very, very close to that area. And SPX still pulling away. SPY rejecting, looking down, turning red even in the first 5 minutes here today. What do I think about AI earnings, my boy? That one's tough because it's not even like a question of like, do I think it's going to continue higher? Like, it's not a question of do I think their earnings will do good. It really is a question of like, what is the chart going to do? Chart's most likely not going to do a whole lot. because it's probably going to be expected that they've done well. So I would genuinely expect that chart to screw both calls and puts, so I genuinely would not do any kind of gamble on that right now. That's just my personal opinion. Thank you, Noxta. Thank you, David. Good morning, E. Good morning, Caleb. Aloha, SF. Surfer Girl. What's up, Evis? What's up, Green Candlestick? They'll just crush the contracts. Most likely. That's just what I'm assuming. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like a no shit situation is what I call it when I talk to my chat. It's kind of like a... I don't know if we all know Apple's super, super profitable, right? I know you're talking about AI, but I'm just giving you an example. And let's say earnings pop up and the stock's already up against good resistance. They're already up because they've been moving higher. You know, what would you expect to happen there? Well, everyone's going to assume, oh, wow, it's going to keep going up. That's going to do great. Their earnings are going to kill it. They're going to just keep making new highs. And sometimes that's the case. I mean, you saw it with NVIDIA, with them having different news and different upgrades come out. But at the same time, it is a little bit different. So, I don't know. That's just how I see it. It's kind of like a no-shit situation. Like if it's a super good baseball team versus a super bad baseball team, most people are going to bet on the good baseball team, and that's the odds will show. You know, you'll see the favorites are like crazy difference between them and the underdog. Saved myself already this morning, bro. Let's go. I love the 200 MA. And yeah, you have to understand, like, even though you don't see me use the 200, it's something that's used by even the institutions. Even the institutions use the 200. That's a historically used indicator. People don't even see that as an indicator. They see it as a general piece of information. It's not just some random line on the screen. Historical. A little bit of a feeler type open. They went up past resistance, rejected it, came down to support, couldn't really break anything. Just still here in the first 10 minutes, not really losing anything. Like I said, buyer pressure could be pretty strong here at that support from the bigger time frames that we went over. Let me go through a couple of these. Netflix through the first, not 10 minutes, but we're getting close to it now. Still rejecting 392, 393.20, which again is needed to break above for more bulls. Got a lot more downside room if they can break under pre-market low to the original break below. But if you want to take under pre-market low for some in the range scalps, you 100% can. Again, if that even happens. Right now we're getting buying pressure. I'm just pointing out both sides. Meta, Google both getting some buying pressure. Tesla picking up, Amazon not so much. We'll see if NVIDIA holds up, if they're going to return back to support and see if they break that support or not. Microsoft looking a little better. AMD not looking bad either. Apple looking pretty good. So tech's not looking too bad, I won't lie. Let's go to them and see what they're doing. Yeah, tech popped up above a really good bigger time frame level. Looks like healthcare is going to have to deal with the meat of previous day lows. So if they can't get over that, healthcare will be pulling away from us again today like they did yesterday. Same thing with financials. We saw them kind of pull away from us. Comms also battling previous day lows. That's your Meta, Google, and Netflix sector. And banks also dealing with previous day lows. Discretionary already broke them. So the only thing that's not... Oh, I guess they're battling previous day lows too, but they're well above it now. So, and then they're fighting the higher low, not even the low of yesterday. So they have a little bit more room than the rest of these, but every single one of these are fighting previous day lows area right now. So keep an eye on that. That's what SPY is fighting. Everything's in the same spot. I like hearing you say my top watches are up. Bro, the position was perfect B. It's right aligned with yesterday low. Touched and just said bye-bye. Oh, buyer came in. Knox, that's definitely what it feels like. Snow, yeah, I heard snow's killing it. All right, buyers are stepping in on SPY. Good morning, good morning. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. Highly appreciated. Hopefully you guys are enjoying some of the breakdowns. Make sure to go back to the beginning of the stream if you want a better update on everything. We covered SPY, bigger time frame, smaller time frame, thought process on all different kinds of scenarios. Talked about a ton this morning. The news that's coming out today. Talked about some good levels on a couple different individual equities. AMD looking a lot better than it did. So is Microsoft. Hell yeah. Tech doing really good. Amazon bouncing from that area. Even though it looks really ugly, there is a level there, so it's good for them. Also good for Tesla because they're in the same sector. And they're getting back above 202s. Which I left them off the list today. I've been putting them on the list pretty much every day, so I wanted to give them like a one-day break, and then I'll bring them back. I almost added Meta to the list today. What I like about them is that kind of towards the end of the day, they have this previous day demand here. And then their higher low actually held it perfectly. So they have a very, very clean area of demand right here, which still isn't demand. If they reject here and pull back down, that'll be very bad for buyers. But if they can get above this, hold on top, that'll be a very, very strong consolidation area. SPX did almost drop all the way to the 4180. We're seeing it reverse up, back up to the previous day low, still fighting. Same thing we saw with all the sectors and SPY. SPY stepping up a little bit. Probably from tech stepping up and a lot of the other sectors trying to hold support. Like I said, bigger time frames telling us if they hold 418s, we could be seeing 420s. Meta's annual shareholder meeting is today is starting at 1 Eastern Standard Time. Nice indecisive candle at the bottom of a potential demand area. How are you all doing? Nvidia rejecting 400 so far. Nox said Tesla is double topping. Driz said quick dots on Amazon. I like above 122.20s. Looks nice. Below previous day low in the downside or bounce area. I have 120.40 for the bigger time frame. And then you also have the previous day low here to worry about. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then you have your previous day open, if I can mark that correctly. Previous day close is kind of just stuck inside of that range, which they're actually up to right now. Fell from it, back up to it. You'd like above 122.20s. Let's see, why did you say 122.20? Okay, I mean, that is the meat of the resistance right there. I could see why you'd say that. We're pretty close on the break above, and then you said below previous day low on the downside. Okay, yeah, we got the same plan. That's kind of the plan for a lot of these charts. See, that's kind of what I was saying earlier about Meta and Microsoft, like, or not Meta, my bad. Microsoft right here, they're kind of just like stuck right here in their range. And then the same thing for Netflix. They have a very, very solid, clear range to watch. So you can see they just broke above my break above level just now, actually. So that's a good buy reaction right there. Meta kind of doing the same thing. I didn't have levels for Google. You saw it happen on Tesla in the first 10 minutes. Amazon's trying. They're a little after Tesla, but they are definitely trying to catch up. Nice buy reaction. They went up and smacked the top of that potential demand. If this stays like this, and we never see another candle go past this wick right here, this is bad, because that could be turning this into supply, which is bearish control. Again, demand is buyers, supply are sellers. But makes sense to go smack it, to get some take profit, see if they consolidate a little bit, hold, and then get back to the top side, or if they're going to just pull away from this, and that'll be their retest, and they'll pull us back down under the today's low, see a break under the open, and see if we come right back down to the 417.60, 417.30s area, which again was kind of where bulls needed to break above on bigger time frames to show that they want to get higher, again on the bigger time frame. So us testing this on smaller could be a very bad thing on the bigger as well. We'll see if we end up cracking below this or not. Good rejection so far. That's definitely very strong supply if they hold out like this. I like the volume picking up a little bit too. See if we get a break of pre-market low, the lows of today's open. You have a little bit of pressure here that needs to break for sellers to really get what they want. No problem, Driz. I think that's a great plan. You have good levels. Plan around them, man. Don't second guess yourself. Sometimes, you'll be looking at your levels and you're second guess yourself. Just don't, man. Your levels are there. You took time to put them on your screen. You took time out of your day to apply that information on your chart. So trust it. When it comes time to, of course. Trust that information. Apple having a day. AMD holding over 122.30s could be a really good buyer move coming up here. Right back where they were. Microsoft, still no red candle in sight. Nvidia looks like it's trying to continue higher. Semi's looking good. Amazon trying to hold over today's open. Tesla getting a little bit of a wick on top again after they've broken above the 201.60s. Meta also wicking. I'm seeing a wick on Netflix. We saw one on Microsoft. Apple looks so strong. My eyes instantly just kind of pop up on this like resistance here of that day's pre-market, this day's resistance, 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 and then you can kind of see where they're above and trying to hold on top, almost like they're building pressure to move up. So I think there's a definite test of previous day high as long as they hold that bottom blue area there for Apple. And again, that is very important because this is one of the largest companies in the stock market. They have a huge pull on SPY. We'll see if other sectors are hurting us or if they're helping. Healthcare pulling away, that's hurting SPY. Comms in range, nothing crazy there. Banks hurting us. Again, guys, we're getting a repeat of yesterday where banks and healthcare just pull away from us, and it's just enough to make SPY not want to do anything. Keeps us in idle mode. See how much of a breakdown that helps? Just going through them helps to remind yourself what's going on. Seeing a good rejection of previous day lows on SPX, this could be a really good sign that bears want to try and pull away and take this lower. Buyers really need to show some sort of sign of like, hey, we're still here. Just something. Anything to show that buyers can somehow possibly take this back up. They're at some last ditch levels right here. Last line of defense type levels. Oh, good update, Brady, by Sox and SMH. Again, bringing up SOXX and SMH, really good to look at because you get good double confirmation on those semis. Everyone's always like, well, how come they don't trade so well with SPY? It's because, I mean, they are part of SPY, they are part of tech, but they're not always going to move with SPY. And that's the case with any sector. It doesn't have to move with SPY at all. We've seen that time and time again for multiple either sectors or individual equities themselves. I mean, how many times have you guys seen Tesla not trade with SPY? Too many times to count. First 15-minute candle, pretty nice, just buyer candle, nothing crazy. Second candle though, very, very indecisive. Touching good resistance and good support, small body, long wicks. That's what tells me it's indecisive. But defending support, so we do have a good piece of information out of that. I think you're about to get a buyer reaction. I think it's just going to be so slow that calls aren't going to get anything super crazy out of it. Similar to yesterday's drop, actually. I could see the exact opposite happening today. I could see us just grinding up to resistance and then maybe getting a last end of day sell off and then just chilling on like we did nothing all day. When in reality, loads of volume, energy, and money get burned up in between. We'll see though. Just kind of pointing out potential scenarios in case we don't break out. Yeah, for real, Nox. That's a very good point. How many times have semis been just completely destroying it? So guys, if healthcare and banks are weak or even pushing lower, and tech was to slow down and pull down lower, what would that do to SPY? What would that most likely do to SPY? That's how I should word that. Yeah, snow's on fire. I need to actually pull that chart up. Y'all keep talking about it in Discord and YouTube. So it must literally be killing it. And yeah, it is. 3.5% as I pull it up. Sheesh. Exactly. SPY would drop. SPY would at least produce some nice red candles. There's that early on bearish resistance coming through. Bears are flushing it a little bit more. See if this is what they need to pull lower or not. Yeah, exactly, the red candlesticks. I always forget I added those. They're so easy to see. I need to add some more, honestly. Remember what I said, too. You know, I mean, bears look good rejecting this and all, but to really get that flush they want, they really got to get under pre-market low, the metered pre-market low, the today's open. So they got a little bit of area here to get out of for bears to really, really show up. And then the bigger time frame also kind of telling us the same thing. So, I mean, they really, really, really need to crack 418 to really show that bears want to take this lower. At least short term. Again, everything I'm saying right now, this is all intraday. And yeah, tomorrow, please help me remember to type out the Trader of the Month. I actually have selected somebody. She has shown tremendous progress. Apple trying to push pre-market high. I mean, pre-market high, Jesus. Previous day high, sorry. Man, Apple's on fire. Good thing we talked about the little bit of buying pressure there. It's just really clean to see those wicks. Again, even if you didn't take that like a play or anything, I don't care. It was really nice to just kind of cover that, showing you the buying pressure. Very, very easy to see there. AMD, as good as they looked, they pulled back down to today's low, or today's open area. Microsoft. So Apple and Microsoft are killing it. They are defending tech ever so slightly. That's with semis getting a little bit weaker. We can see Amazon still fighting around their meat of high of day so far. Tesla had a nasty rejection. I saw a few of you guys talk about that. And yeah, they lost 20160s. Did not look good. So look at that. Look at that. I think this is a great example. So check this out. So if I zoom out, remember the buying pressure we talked about. We're kind of talking about the yesterday's open, the meat of that previous day resistance right there. And I mean, of course, you have the day's high is here as well. But this is the resistance we were talking about. We were talking about this area here and how the buying pressure was very easy to see. You can see a long wick, a good wick, and then they start to pick it back up. So it's not necessarily like a bull flag or a 4-bar play, or you don't have to name it anything. It's just buying pressure. That's exactly what you're seeing. So that was really cool. But then you go to Tesla, and it's like the exact opposite. And it's honestly from the same exact area too, kind of like where that resistance is at the previous day's high or low. And you can see they put in those hammers there, rejected, and where that nasty flush came in right from that area. But look, you can see the selling pressure pop up beforehand. Very, very clean. Small bodies, long wicks above. Very, very clean. Yeah, Apple and Microsoft are kind of holding SPY together right now, for sure. Netflix is kind of helping, but they're not really significant enough by themselves to make comms, blast up or anything. They're just lucky Meta and Google haven't sold off hard. But I really do hope some of these visual representations help you guys out, because like that right there, I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, that makes it easy, like go get rich off that. No, I'm just saying it's easy to see the pressure. It's easy to see. You can see the wicks go down to a support, go under, close back above it. That indicates buying pressure, or vice versa against a resistance. So look out for that. Look out for that pressure as you approach some of these levels or areas when you start looking at these more. Yep, data soon. Good looks. Skin Metal Wood. Love the name. Good job, peoples. Good updates. Good updates, Hidden Land. Good morning, Wilson. How you doing? Hope you're having a great day as well. John Harden took 25% on Apple calls. Base hits, baby. Good stuff, almost called you Jason. John. Good stuff, John. Nope, it's not Tulip. He said, hey, bro, I'm a guy, though. Soros, trust me, bro. It may be kid, it may not be kid. We shall see. There are many female traders in chat who have been kicking ass, progressing. Might even be a shared win again. You guys have seen this before. I'm not telling. Yeah, make sure to drop a like on the stream. We got over 100 people in here. Let's try to even that up. Thank you guys again. And we'll see where we are in about a month or 2 months with this new stream schedule and see if I like it or not, see if you guys like it or not. And if not, then we'll change it up again. But I like this new schedule. Gives me time to do a whole lot more, not just be here on YouTube. Again, I can't just be present here on YouTube. I am in Discord as well, helping other people out, being in chat, making new content for everybody. We'll see. Kind of sucks this week because it's a short week. Yeah, we're only second day into this week, but it's already over. We have tomorrow and Friday, and that's it. Ooh, Peoples, you might have said the winner. Who knows? You might have said it right there. See if SPY flushes. They just put in a new low finally, and then SPX also finally put in a new low. So they are rejecting away from previous day demand, turning it into supply, pulling away. We'll see if 4180s get tested on SPX. We'll see if 41720, 41760 area holds or gets broken by SPY. New low of day though, this is definitely in seller control, especially if this new low holds. If not, we'll see if they want to come back up and test a lower high or not. Zoom this out a little more. Yeah, it was low volume for sure. Because, yeah, that's not really anything significant. Also, to be fair, that might have just been reaction from news. I didn't see what the data was, but I'm guessing that was from news because of how rapid and quick and aggressive that price action was right at 9 o'clock. So I'm assuming that was from news. Which, again, a lot of the times, people always think, like, oh, it's just people reacting. A lot of the times, that can literally just be algorithms reacting to whatever was dropped. Sometimes it's as easy as just a big institution or somebody with a lot of money saying, hey, if the news says this, do this. If the news does this, do this. So it's not really like a computer is doing anything crazy, like some like craziness, but it really is just set up like parameters, like, oh, okay, if the news comes out and it's worse than this, sell it. If it's better than this, buy it, you know, and that's what it's probably set to. Yeah, Rufio bot is correct. There is job openings. Buying pressure is holding, guys. Might not be over for buyers yet. I cannot believe we are seeing this hold very well. This looks so good. That pre-market low is holding still. As ugly as it looks. Microsoft rejecting an Apple, slowing down. Good update by Noxda. Again, why that's important is because tech was one of the stronger sectors leading us up right now. So it's very good to kind of keep track of their pace. Are they keeping it up? Are they slowing down? Also, at the end of today's stream, I am going to be just kind of tinkering with some stock chart stuff. I've had this membership for like 4 years, and I never used it. I mean, in the beginning, I used it very heavily, but here later on, I have not been using it. But they've actually added a lot of useful tools and information and resources, so I'll be tinkering with that later on in the stream today. Trying to do like a 2 to 3 hour stream today, nothing super crazy, but I wanted to let you guys know that in case you were going to try to stick around. There's a couple cool things I wanted to show you guys that I thought were super interesting that maybe I can start to try to pull up more. I think the sector rotation thing was really cool that Daffy was showing, and I was tinkering with that for a long time yesterday. Volume did pick up a little bit, nothing crazy. We're holding lower. Still got another minute and 15 seconds. Job openings were higher than estimates. They came in at 10.10 million. Estimates were 9.4 million. Which actually mine says 9.5 estimate. 9.5 to 9.6. Previous was 9.7. Facebook Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg just said, excited to share something we've been working on tomorrow. Isn't their thing today? Why is he saying tomorrow? I literally did I not just read something that said Meta has a big event today? Why would he wait till tomorrow? Unless that first piece of news I read was wrong and it's not today, it's tomorrow. This candle's still battling pre-market low. They actually closed above pre-market low. This is insane. Be careful, guys. Buying pressure could still ensue here. As good as this looks for bears. Jay said shooting star on Nvidia daily in Poots. And yeah, if you're taking Poots on SPY right now, you need to keep a stop at today's open. This seems to be a very, very good kind of median level for either side right now, even with the ugly drop. Anyone want to bet it has something to do with AI? Oh, I 300% bet you it has something to do with AI. They're like, all right, guys, we screwed up Meta. This new trend is starting. It's called AI. We need to get in this. We need to put all of our money. We fired 70% of our company so we could free up enough revenue and capital. We need this dub. So, no, I could definitely see them. I mean, they're already in AI, technically. Now they're just saying it more. Marketing behind it. Everyone's like, oh, dude, Meta has so much cash. They could do so much. It's like, yeah, they fired everybody. They freed up so much money they can do anything, which again is what was needed. If you guys go back to about a year ago, it might even be longer than that, in the streams and in the Discord, we talked about this exact scenario. We talked about if he wanted to think about any kind of recovery for the stock or for the company or to save any kind of face, he was going to need to let go a lot of people and free up a load of capital so he has more options, so he has more opportunity to do other things that isn't necessarily full send behind Metaverse like they did and completely burn up their entire capital, make their company look kind of, I mean, it looks stupid now, honestly. And when people think of Meta, they do not think of the future like they did when it first came out. And even then, some people were sketched out at the beginning, so... but it makes sense. He needs to restructure, and this is the slow steps he has to take to do that. Again, it looks shitty on paper. It sounds shitty out loud, honestly. But it's something that is needed to do to restructure as a company. So it's something that's needed. If they want to survive. They can't just keep burning capital and expect to grow. So we'll see if the second round works for them. We did get a new low, but buying pressure is still wicking up every candle that heads down to this 417 area. Apple finally seems to be rejecting. Let's go to it. And yeah, keep your eye on that tech sector like Noxto is saying. It's very, very smart to keep an eye on tech. This was one of the sectors that was keeping us up. But at the same time, look what healthcare is doing now. I was going to say look what banks are doing, but they haven't started reversing yet. Them, discretionary got more weak. Healthcare's picking up buying pressure. Comms are slowing down, not really weak yet. And tech has slowed down and starting to become a little bit more weak. So, makes sense. And when I was kind of talking about earlier, we were about 0.42%. We're a lot more than that now, and it makes sense. We picked up a lot more bearish confirmation now. Of course, healthcare's like, all right, we'll start helping out. Tech's already started to reverse. You were too slow, healthcare. You were too slow. Tesla CEO Elon Musk scheduled to visit Shanghai plant tonight. It says on tonight. They really need to fix their wording. Good old healthcare, the Internet Explorer of stocks. Dude. I just had those like error message noises pop up in my head when you said that. SPX, after rejecting, is down at 41.80. This is the first target for SPX. So if you guys are in anything for SPX, take your profits. Good job. Let's see if 4180 flushes for anybody with runners. Next level I have is 4169.50. You do have a psychological level at 4175. And then for spy, that would be if we broke 417.20s, 417.60s. That would be if we got down to 416. 415.87 is the actual level. Let's zoom down. Wow, good hold, Dondu. You're still holding that. Wow, really good job. You're better than me. I'll give you that one. Good stuff, man. Semi's coming down. Good call out, Noxta. Wow, Noxta, you're still in as well. Props to you. Good job. You and Dondu holding very strong. Regardless of it working out or not, I'm just happy to see you guys held through that. That was a little tough, not gonna lie. Good job to both of you. That's what I'm proud of. Jay's killing it as well. Jay's out with 45% on his shooting star on the daily call out on Nvidia. Good timing with that too. You like literally were just saying it, and then within the next 20 minutes it already starts coming back down. Good job, Noxta. Finding reason. What are those Nvidia contracts at now? Here, I'll go look. Oh, wait, it was same days, or same weeks. The one I called out was the 390s for this week, which those are at 560 now. Which they were about that at the open. This is about the price of that contract at the open, so it's pretty much the same spot. Nothing new to really update on that. Yeah, not bad. Hopefully some people in there took the swing. If not, hopefully people just took it just for information. I think that was a good information swing. It wasn't necessarily trying to buy like a top. It had already shown some slowed down or exhaustion, and then it really showed selling pressure. And that is what I liked about that Nvidia chart, was really just for it to come back down, fill that gap, maybe touch the 90 EMA on the daily. Not much more than that. You know, it really isn't fair to say during AI trend right now. It's not really fair to say that Nvidia has to come back down more. They are trending. They are in a trending sector, so it makes sense that they have really big breakouts. Ramia, you need to either refresh your stream, click live, change the settings cogwheel to change the quality, but I promise you that is not everybody. That is not how it's supposed to look. So fix that, please. Hopefully that works for you. 6-7% gains on me SPY puts. Good job, Sand Dollar. Good job, Dondu. Noxta, are you out or are you still in? I just testing to see. You were spot on with the slow grind down on SPY. Yeah, it was either we get a really nice bounce and it just holds and we end up pushing, you know, because like I see it like this. This is how I see it. I see it as like, all right, we get one or two scenarios. We either get a crazy buy reaction off this and we definitely make it to 420, or we sell off under this. So you have one of two options. Now, how can I confirm one of those two to give ourselves not more confidence without making shit up? You know, I don't like to make shit up. What else do they need to pass? Well, if you go to our smaller time frame levels, yeah, they are at buying pressure, but they're also at the point of no return, where if they don't get back over this isn't a good sign. And they perfectly went to the top of demand and turned it into supply. So, I mean, that was a really good early on sign after the buying pressure of the support. So I like that a lot, where I feel like if that was in the reverse direction, you know, it went up and rejected, and then it got another buy reaction, then I feel like this wouldn't have been as easy to see. So good job, everybody, holding. I think there was a lot of really good reasons for a lot of you guys to hold short still, or to get into new shorts. A lot of you ended up doing that all on your own. As I just posted in chat, I said, I'll read it word for word. I said, good job on NVIDIA and SPX from stream and here on Discord. From us or not, I'm proud to see you all doing well without hand-holding. And that's exactly what's happening. A lot of you guys are making these trades, and you're not even realizing nobody's doing it for you. Because a lot of you guys are used to people doing some of these things for you. You go into a chat, and they're saying, guys, buy NVIDIA puts at blah, blah, blah. You know, that's like, okay, but what am I learning out of that? You know, and a lot of you guys have not been put through that in this Discord. We don't put you through that kind of routine. I mean, there are a couple channels, don't get me wrong, where people do this, but it's not forcing you or telling you. We don't market it. We don't promote it super heavily because we don't want it to be like that. We don't want it to seem like, oh, you have to take somebody else's play. If you go through chat right now, 90% of the people who took NVIDIA puts did that on their own. That had almost nothing to do with me posting, Duke posting, other people posting it. 90% of the people who took those plays did that all on their own. You know, they might have seen Don do post or Nox to post or me post or Duke post and go, oh, that's awesome. I was thinking the same thing, and kind of add extra confluence onto what they're looking at. That's awesome. That is probably the furthest extent of paying attention to someone else's TA as you should go. You should not go any farther than that. And that close, you're right, John. Took profit on AMD, 80% entry, entered on 1 minute close under PML, exited around where we bounced from Friday. Good job, Brady. He also brought that up in the YouTube stream himself. Again, another example of what I literally just said. Somebody taking a trade all on their own. Did I go to AMD? No. Did I go do all of that for Brady? No. Brady did every single thing on his own just now. I didn't even help him. I didn't even go to AMD. Talked about NVIDIA more than I did AMD. But that was all Brady. He dropped it in the chat, talking about it. And is that to look cool? Is that like for some sort of showmanship? No, it's for Brady, for himself. For him to talk about it before, during, after, to get the full process, the full story review of what just happened on his trade, as well as the AMD chart. He's getting a hell of a whole lot more information out of that chart than some random person taking a random hand-holding trade on that chart. Great job, Brady. Round of applause to you. A round of applause to anybody who is in here and not just sitting here waiting to be a sheep and handhold. Very, very happy for you. Let's see. Starting to crack that next area. This could be what helps us go down to 416. SPX chart. Yeah, my battle show it. They did crack 4180s. I was telling you a good first target is being hit. Next level, 4175. Psychological level, being hit. Thank you, B, for teaching us like this. Also, rest in peace in video. Good follow-up rip. Appreciate you too, Brady. I appreciate anybody and everybody in here who is willing to work their ass off, willing to work hard. Jesus Christ, Jack, you're just now closing that final runner. You're a beast. Round of applause for Jack. Another person who's been growing. Everybody in Discord is on fire. I don't have to check on them anymore. Nothing new, we're just seeing if 417s can hold or not. They have already broken, so we're just really still in bearish control. Nothing really else to say. Really good room down to 416.50, possibly 415.87, 416 flat. Really, if you're someone who's been shorting, you're probably in runners in the last part of your position. You should not be in a bulk of your position, and to pick up a new position here would be very risky because it might be a little too late. Still a very good chance of it. We keep continuing lower, but that early morning was very, very entertaining. They give us a really good just hold, a good hit to rejection, a good push to support, a good break of support, and now we're just getting the flush of that really good consolidation at open, so it makes sense that they have room to flush before getting a retest. So if they get some sort of buy reaction, you can draw your lead test from the top of this wick down to wherever that buy reaction comes in at. Then you can look for a possible lead test. Outside of that, I would just sit on my hands. Good job, Hidden Land. He just had 120% on his last runner for the 370 puts. Jesus. Good job, dude. And yeah, you were saying that when NVIDIA was like trying to go up. Now they're down 2.5%. Very happy for you. Oh, new low. Just put in instantly. Right as it looked like they were trying to wick it back up. Instantly pulled it back down. Yeah, SPX is just free falling. Free falling. Whew. They're just still taking it down. 416.50 is getting very, very, very close here on SPY now. If you guys are in runners, do not be scared to take out a good portion of your position. Do not be scared to get out of your play and enjoy the rest of your day. 416.50 is just hit. Alright, I won't screenshot anymore. We're all good. Cause I'm free. Yeah, I wasn't gonna sing, but I'm glad you got it. And I can't play it on the stream either, cause you know. Almost nervous to take another position. You don't need to take another position. That's the great part about trading. This is the biggest misconception by 99% of people, Jack. They think they have to take another trade. Let me tell you, my friend, you don't. You can do whatever you want, but just letting you know, you don't need another trade. This is actually a great time to start implementing a new piece of practice for you, Jack. Right now, let's say like today. Let's say you have a great day, you're done early. What is something you can do that is effective but doesn't damper your learning? That doesn't stop you in your path, doesn't create more FOMO to put you in another trade? What is something you can do after taking real trades to keep practicing but not completely screw the process? Visualizing. You could still watch the charts if you want. If you want to walk away, that's awesome too. Exactly, mental trade. Visualize. I mean, what's the point of risking? You just said yourself you're nervous. You're almost nervous to take another position. So what's the point of touching this again? There is no point. And that's kind of my point in general. What I'm getting at. Not even just because of what you said. Just in general, it makes sense to not touch it again. You realize it's only been an hour since open. Actually, it hasn't even been an hour yet. It's getting up to an hour. And we've already done this much. You know, so people are going to be looking at this and thinking, you know what, maybe I'll let this just drift away. Maybe I'll just let it go down to 416, let it base out, and by the time I come back to this chart, it'll either be breaking 416 or pushing back above the 417s. You know, because they understand, oh, this is going to be probably consolidating for a little bit longer now. We had consolidation, we dropped, probably going to need some more consolidation. Right as we lead into lunchtime too. Which next piece of news is a Fed speaker, and that will be in 2 more hours. Good job, Mel. Very happy for you. Good job, Dondu. Excellent answer. Be sure to drop a like on the stream if you guys are enjoying some of the updates. Pretty nice hammer forming here. This could bring some buying pressure up to the 417.20, 417.60 area. From here, you could see a good retest, consolidation. And then whether that takes it from here and to go up higher, or to take it from here to move lower, doesn't really matter. You understand where to look at now. And if this is where your buy reaction is coming in at, you could draw your fib. Again, I'm not saying draw it yet, but if this is where it's coming in at, you can see that it's kind of where we're looking for that break that the better part of the lead test is going to be at today. But selling is not done yet. We're just still down here. Just pointing out what you could be looking to do next. Texting all my trades and mental trades, but yeah, not going to stress out over finding something right away. Exactly, Jack. There's just no point. You take one good trade or two good trades, you know, what's the point of rushing yourself into finding another, you know? Be patient. Put some time in between your trades. It makes sense too. You know, you wouldn't go run and work out and do all that stuff and then 5 seconds later go do another workout. You'd probably put a little bit of time between that. Go get you something to eat, something to drink, a little bit of rest, and then you can go do your 2 a day later. Wait, what did I just read? Jeffries upgrades Ford Motor, says Auto Giant stock can rally more than 30%. North Korea says it will launch its first ever military spy satellite to monitor U.S. drills. You hear that, guys? They're going to monitor us. That's crazy. Risk of extinction by AI should be global priority per the Center for AI Safety. Oh, Jesus. Let's go down to some new news. Meta, Amazon, and Google have all drastically reduced the size of their teams focused on internet trust and safety, as well as ethics, as the companies focus on cost cuts. Hey, we were just talking about that today. Americans need an average post-tax income of $68,499 to live comfortably in the U.S. They're doing everything they can to not type the number 69. 68,499. Hey, good job, Nam Lee. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone read that. Nam Lee just said, hey, Bueller, got the Impulse High of Day candle on SPY and somehow sold at the tippy top. So they got calls and did great today. Then they said, and some been too hyped to take another. My system said to take a short at 9:52 Eastern Standard. Didn't take it, but glad to see it would work. That's amazing, Nam Lee. That's exactly what I'm getting at. Like, who cares that it would have made you a lot more money? What's more important and what you should be more happy about and proud of is that what you planned and everything you've kind of set up worked. So now you understand it a whole lot more. It isn't really just about making money. Very, very good job, Nam Lee. I love where your head's at. Totes my goat. Resting in between sets. Yeah, unless you're Devin, you don't rest at all. You just bench the world. Good job though. Good job though. Good job though. I like that mindset a lot, Nomley. I'm not gonna lie. I like that a lot. Very, very proud of you. Not even from a trading perspective, really. Just from a mindset perspective. That's everything. You're going to be able to take hits in the future and get back up. You know, there's people out there who will take a hit and they're just like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm not doing that again. You know, but you're not one of those. They are almost smack dab in the middle of that area we talked about from the bigger time frame. And nominally, if you want to, you know, if it's just to yourself or to Discord later, you can also circle that visualizing trade you did, and you can say, hey, this is where I was wanting to enter if I did take that second trade. And then you can write down the reasons that you liked it. What were some reasons that made you like that it was doing that? What pushed you into the trade is really what I'm getting at, or what pushed you into that visualizing trade. Good stuff, Nomley. And yeah, do whatever you want to. Be comfortable. That's really my main concern, is that you're comfortable. It's not really make the Discord look good. That's not my concern at all. If you're comfortable, I'm happy. And some people, they love to post a chat. Some people, they don't want to. Do whatever you want to do. Excuse the mic noises. He said, so far still seeing rising volume on the sell-off. Yeah, not bad volume. Let's go check some other charts now. So SPX hit that target. Yeah, I would fully just chill now, guys. I mean, this is my second further out target. I would just chill. Not the strongest of supports, but if they do flush, watch out for 4161.50. Technically, SPY does still have room for more downside. 415.87, 416 area. You're just so close to it. So probably a little bit more downside. This will probably make SPX wick back up after they finally get it here on SPY. Yeah, they pushed through previous day high. They're like, all right, we're done. Gave up right after that. They're already back down to square one. Opening price is literally right here. They're 30 cents away. That's crazy. AMD broke support, retesting underneath. Yeah, Microsoft back to square one. If anything, they're lower than square one. They broke today's open and low. Impressive. Nvidia down to the 389, 24 through 91.70 area. This is again from the daily time frame. Which, for my swing traders, this is where I was targeting for everybody. Just gonna go post that just to kind of drop a secondary afterwards review. Jesus, good job, Leland. I just saw that. You did really good on your Nvidia play. Good job, Peoples. Damn, you started that account at 1K. I'm so proud of you. Keep it up, keep it up. Good job, Mel. Good job, Leland, seeing those gains now. Of course, y'all having to match each other over 200% on SPX. Good job, guys. Again, Mel and Leland showing what discipline and tons of practice can do. Everybody's always like, how does Mel so good at trading? Why is Mel so lucky? Or he's not lucky. He works his ass off. You know what he's doing when you're sleeping on the weekend? He's in on-demand mode visualizing moving price action. He's watching the charts. He's visualizing the charts and visualize trading when the markets are closed. How many of you do that? I promise you 90% of you don't. Which again, it's okay. You're not all complete freaks, but this is why Mel is so fast. This is why Mel has progressed so fast. What you see as luck and the positive sides of everything, behind the curtains, he's working his ass off. You know, it's not just something that's just popping up out of nowhere. And same for Leland, same for anybody in chat. Nobody's just randomly going to bed, waking up, and then they're like, bam, I'm now a pro trader. Like, no. It's not happening. You gotta work your ass off. Lead test on the Tesla 1 minute, 3 minute. Could call out Jacob. I think he called out the last Tesla lead test a couple days ago. See if you get another one. I'm a complete freak. I dream on demand. But guys, like, visualizing trades is seriously one of the greatest ways of growing in so many different directions. Like, everyone thinks it's like, oh, it's just going to help you think that you're better at trading, or you're going to feel more confident, or you're going to definitely be better at trading, you're going to make bigger gains, or you're going to have a routine. Like, it does all of these things. It does all of those things and more. Yo, what's up, Tobias? What is up? What's going on, man? Always happy to see your name pop up. Sing 2 is typing. We're about to get a really awesome trade review, probably. Can you steal Mill's brain? No, I have it in a jar right next to me. He's not even allowed to have it back till he's done. Closed puts, am happy. Love the quick summary, Tobias. Very happy for you. Mel makes me want to work harder, seeing his fast progression. Same, dude. It's not even just because, like it doesn't matter if you're someone who's at the beginning of your journey, at the end of your journey, in the middle of your journey, or, you know, wherever you are in your trading journey. It doesn't really matter where you are. Seeing something like that, something like what Mel is doing right now, and something like Leland is doing, it's just motivating. It's inspiring. It really gets you out of your bed. It really gets you off your ass and makes you want to work harder. Just because you see someone who's just like you doing it, and you're seeing them kick ass, and you're very happy for them. You're not doing it out of spite of them, but it's good. It's good to be motivated by others in chat. That's good. I would say the same thing. A lot of what helps me get up every day and want to be active in chat and want to continue helping people is chat itself. You know, is getting that support and getting people in there just to kind of reconfirm your thoughts. You know, if you think, oh, SPY looks good here, and you go into chat and there's a bunch of people posting in there, you're not crazy. So, and it's just inspiring to see how well people do in there, how people can take a heavy hit or a heavy loss or make a stupid mistake or something like that, and then recover over the next few weeks. You know, it's so awesome seeing that. I'm not saying I want you to make those big mistakes, but this community is so inspiring, makes me believe I can do it too, ready to run through a wall. Definitely don't run through a wall, but I believe it too, man. I feel what you're saying. Hey, you feel a bit disconnected. It's okay, Jack. Wait, we aren't supposed to make those mistakes? Yo, I told y'all she was posting a trade review. I told y'all. Y'all heard it from me first. Check this out, though. Sing 2. Amazing trade review. Lead test again. However, I entered short too fast, but I still held because I could see that the chart was trying to set up the lead test pattern. I bought 2 contracts. Oh, she's already getting confident. I exited 1 when it was close to my first target, which is 41.92 to be my insurance, and I still hold the second contract and hold it till it hit my target. I decided to exit when it hit 41.85.25 because I feel uncomfortable to hold at that moment. Based on Bueller, I learned from how to plan from daily time frames and down to the 5-minute time frame. Thank you so much for teaching us 5 days in a row that I haven't lost. First time in my life. Thank you so much. Jesus. 5 days in a row. That's nuts. Very happy for Sing 2. P.S. I watch SPY futures, but I trade SPY. It's okay. Let's see. Okay, I see what she's saying. She said she entered too early here, and I see what she's saying. She waited for the lead test to set up. Wow, she held through a massive move. Yep, and then look, she even put, I decided not to exit here because this area is a fair value gap from the 15-minute. I actually should enter here for a short. Good job. I like that she, even though she made a mistake of entering early, I like that she still went back through and said, you know what, this is where I should be looking to enter next time. You know, just to kind of give herself that look. She marked another fair value gap. Rejected it, kept flushing. This probably gave her a lot more confidence once all of this price action got by. And then it started flushing into her first bigger area. Decided to exit here because I feel a smaller consolidation coming from the book. Oh, good stuff. Let's see this. Oh, she's showing off the bigger time frame as well, showing that her levels do come from the bigger time frame. And I'll make sure to show more charting on this with Leland. Me and Leland have already shown some videos on this in chat and on YouTube, but if you're doing SPX charting, a lot of your charting is going to happen from recent time frames, but those levels do a lot of the time end up matching my system. So it's not like if you do one or the other, you're screwing yourself. They're very close. So I don't feel like you're missing out, but we will put out more content if you guys want to see more charting on recent price action more. Ooh, Leland coming in strong. I like how he said that. He said, yes, you are, Noxta. You are supposed to make those mistakes. When your account is small, if you don't make them now, you will make them later. Very, very good point. Daddy Leland stepping in. Side note, after 5 years, I took off my beard. Girlfriend walked right past me on the street. Damn. You shaved and now she's not in love with you anymore. I'm so sorry to hear that, Tobias. No, I'm just messing with you. Leland, the stock philosopher, he really is. Awesome, Green. I'll get you one. Here, you know what? I'll go download one Leland sent me a long time ago, and I'll just send you that. Honestly, I've been watching the same video over and over just to kind of remind myself what's important when marking recent levels. But I would love to do a couple charting sessions with you. We can go over some recent SPX levels. I don't want to do it where it's like everyone's charting SPX. Like that's not what I'm trying. I'm not trying to get everybody onto it. Like it's just if you're there and you want it, awesome. Don't think you have to jump over to it. Stick where you are. It's true though. Wouldn't you rather blow a $500 account rather than a $15K account? And not even that. Not even necessarily like in terms of like blowing it up. Like in terms of just like, you know, let's say I make a stupid mistake and it's a 50% loss. Like that 50% loss on a $500 account is only $250. A 50% loss in a 15K account, $7.5K, which is still very stupid. Still going to hurt a lot, but you didn't blow it all. You know, so it's just in terms of that. You know, it's like. It's much better to be practicing small right now when you don't know what you're doing. And that's why we preach about visualizing so much, because visualizing applies no risk. There's no risk when you're visualizing, but you're getting every bit of the learning process out of it. You should still be getting a lot of the emotional attachment to the trade. Do you actually have $500 in this trade? No, but in your head, you do. Good share trade review. Can you post it on your Twitter? You want me to post the one that Sing2 just made? Is that what you're asking, Joseph? Shoot, look at that perfectly test on Apple Noxta, which somebody actually called out in here. We have a couple people calling out Apple and Tesla lead tests right now. Yes, it's the same thing normally. I actually think from what Leland has told me, I think Trading Views is actually a little bit better, if I remember correctly from what Leland has shared with me. Pretty sure Trading Views is better, but yes, they are necessarily the same thing. Good update by Dondu saying looking for a reaction at 417. You guys are doing all the updates now. You don't even need me. I'll just start streaming and I'll just show the chart. I couldn't find my own Discord for a second. That was freaking me out. Alright, we're back up to the 90 EMA. Very normal reaction after selling off. Oh, good job, Dondu, pointing out not just the level, but also the reason for the level. Good job. The reasoning. That is the meat of everything. Good updates, good updates. I did say towards the end of stream I wanted to go through some stock chart stuff. So here in about 30 minutes, towards the end of the stream, I'm going to go through some stock chart stuff from stockcharts.com. Again, not actual stock charts. Stockcharts.com. I just wanted to go through a couple features that I thought were kind of cool. Let's see what our sectors are doing real quick. Tech's getting bought up right now off lows. Healthcare still just defending. Comms building off a higher low. Financials made it to that bigger time frame level. We'll see if they can finally start to build up some buyers here or if they're just going to keep range trading. Discretionary in the same seat. Both banks and discretionary sold off to the next bigger time frame level, and they're trying to slow down / curl back up. Now, I don't mean that in terms of like they're going to definitely get bought back up. I just mean in terms of like hopefully they start to range trade or consolidate a little bit. Hopefully they just stop moving. SPX and SPY both down 0.77%. See you later, Tobias. Thank you for being in here, man. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day, man. We're just going to keep watching SPY. We're either going to get a pull away from the 90 EMA to touch low of day or break a new low of day, or we're going to consolidate so we can get a buyer move up into the 417s again. Supply and demand zones are becoming a thing for me. Good, man. Hopefully they're not getting in the way. Something that I was taking very serious and trying to be very cautious of as I was teaching supply and demand more was that I didn't want to apply them in a way that overlaps what I've already taught you. So I don't want you to like learn these levels and then start to get into these supply and demand areas, and then it just, for some reason, you just collapse, you fall apart. For some reason, you just went from some great trader with the levels, and then you start to throw out these colored boxes, and now you don't know what to do. This is what I took very seriously when I was applying these myself. Just say test of EMA, Noxta, because you're 100% correct. We are definitely over it. But that's all it was was a test. And it's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes we're a little bit over, sometimes we're a little bit under. Sometimes we go over it and then we go back under it. You know, it's all kind of different variations. But to test the 9 EMA, like I said before I walked away for a second, that is most likely what Price is going to do. Try to get a good test in this general area. Will we get a test all the way in flush? I don't know, but really good test so far. If we go grab our lead test real quick, if you go from the high before the break all the way down to the buy reaction, we actually have a lot of room. Like I said, a lot of the lead test area is going to line up with that pre-market low up to today's open. So very easy to remember that. I would just chill though, because honestly, for a better short, I mean, this is a good retest and everything, but for a better short, you're going to want it to build more consolidation first and then break lower, so you have more energy to move lower, instead of us moving lower, barely getting a test, and then probably getting a weak seller move that makes it to just the next level. Whereas if it had consolidation, it could make a lot better of a sell-off. That was a good mention, though. Yeah, and risk reward isn't the best. Another good add-on. See, you guys are already answering all the charts questions. But back to the supply and demand, though. It's so much fun to draw those. I'm not gonna lie, I actually enjoy drawing those every day because they're so easy to draw, and I feel like there's sometimes some of the strongest parts of my chart. You know, going from that day's high to the open before the reversal, going to this candle, this low before the reversal to the high of the last red candle. This day, of course, like I said this morning before we started, I included the 418.50, so I lowered this level a little bit more to include that, and that's what gave us our supply and demand, which you could see the supply of previous day highs. We didn't even get near that. Kind of tanked down under pre-market low, went back up, tested top of demand, rejected it, broke under, turned that into supply. So now this is supply seller area, just like the other blue area way up there. And we pulled away from it now. Had an open range breakout, moved lower from it, and now from there, and this is why I like to do kind of both fibs, just kind of put it in my mind, you know, like this is for the lead test. We understand that. We're all on that boat. We get that. But the original fib that I've always been teaching is the open range breakout, from where we broke to where we slowed down. And you can see bears are still in very heavy control because they haven't even gotten back over 417 to give some short-term control for buyers. That's essentially the first level buyers need to break to show, hey, we're trying to get back up here. Let us back up. But they're not hard to draw. So I would get used to drawing the high and previous day high and previous day low demand. Supply and demand. That's all you're drawing. Focus on that. Then you can start to expand on supply and demand and learn not just how to trade with it, but also how to apply it to other time frames if you want. Make sure you guys have a water or something. Be sure to drop a like on the stream if you have not already. It helps out the channel a ton. I see a rejection area now. Go back a day, and often it's a supply or demand zone. There you go. Which you should already be somewhat well aware of supply and demand if you've been trading my system. If you've been using these levels, you've already technically been trading supply and demand. You just haven't been looking at it in this exact way. Possibly, David. Good looks. I'll leave my cursor there for you while we watch it. And it lines up with that fib. That's pretty cool. You just like boxes? Yeah. Somebody that I used to work with on supply and demand, which he teaches them in a completely different way than how I teach them. Which, again, who cares? I'm not really focused on that. But his whole thing was that he would tell people, it's like, oh, it's just a bunch, like, to some people it's supply and demand. To some people it's just a bunch of colored boxes, you know, and discolored boxes, this and that. And sometimes that alone, that single factor, the fact you just put a different visual representation on the screen, that alone is what can overwhelm someone. Sometimes it's not even just the information. Sometimes it's just literally how it's seen. It's the same effect to like everyone when they first start looking at indicators. Like at first, you look at the chart and you're like, wow, this looks so easy to read. And then you add an indicator and you're like, oh my god, it's even easier to read. You know, and it's just that little bit of like spark. When in reality, it's not different. It's not easier. It's just different, is what I meant to say. You're getting a different view of it, different perspective. Yeah, I remember last week you went over the 3 and 5. Yeah, I don't like to go over them too much because I don't want you to think like every single time you need to be looking for the third time it touches and the fifth time it touches. I don't want you to think like I have to be looking for that everywhere. But it's just a good rule of thumb to think about sometimes whenever you do see it pop up. So good job, David. Apples in the Golden Pocket, great call out by Ebis. I should add 100 indicators I will never lose. And then you hit the phase with 7 indicators, and then you go deep, and you're like, oh, here's Keltner channels, here's TTM squeeze, here's Bollinger bands, here's EMAs, here's ATR, here's DTR, RSI, MACD, adding all these billions of indicators to make yourself think you're seeing the chart easier. I'm an indicator hater. Ooh. Yeah, that probably without context, that looks a little racist. But with context, very, very good, funny name. I'm an indie hater. I hate indie music. All the real ones rock at the RSI and MACD. Yeah, dude. All the real ones rocked RSI and MACD and 300 EMAs at the same time. Indie hater gang. I beat you, Jack. Hey, I gotta beat you to some of it. I can attest to this. I started the backtest journey over the weekend. I had 8 indicators. Fast forward today, I have 3. Yeah, I mean, if you can't break down to me what your indicator even does or how it grabs its information, like how many of you can tell me what a 9 EMA does? I'm sure in your head you understand how it works, but could you repeat it to me, though? It basically takes the last 9 plots, adds a little bit of weight to them, divides it, and then you get a single number. You're basically just seeing exactly what it's called, an average line. So that's what this is, an average line. You're seeing the last 9 plots of data, and that's what this line represents. So it's really good for short-term information, because that's all it's grabbing is short. It's grabbing the last 9 pieces of plot, right? So it has short-term information. Now let's add, let's say, 191 pieces of data. So now we have the 200 moving average, right? So now we have a lot longer. Yep, so last 9 candles. So let's say price is at 418.75, 418.25, 418.50, 418.75, 419. You do that 9 times, and then you count that, divide it, blah, blah, blah. You will get 418 whatever, you know, then you end up getting the number. That's where the 9 EMA is sitting. That's how it's getting that. It's just an average. And then you have the EMA, the exponential moving average, which is the exact same thing as a moving average, so also known as the simple moving average, except
the EMA has a little bit of weight added onto it. So in some certain circumstances, you'll see that the line is closer than the 9 MA. And then in some instances, you'll see that it's farther than the 9 MA. And that's because it's weighted. It's a little bit different than just straight up adding and dividing. But that's what I mean, though. If you can't even explain to me what's on your screen, you probably shouldn't have it on your screen. What's on my screen? Volume. Okay. So buying, selling. 9 EMA. Okay. Levels. Okay. Supply and demand. Okay. And a little bit of information. How much volume has been used over the last 30 days? How much volume today has been used? In comparison to that, how much of a percentage is that? My open of day, my previous day high, my previous day low, my previous day close, my previous day open, and that's it. I don't have anything else. Good job, by the way, David. He was saying how 417 was getting the test of 3. That was as this candle was forming. Since then, he's got a little bit of a dip down to the low of day. Good job on that, David. We'll see if that ends up holding or if they're going to just come back down. Like I said, you get a test of the 90 EMA, you come test this low again. Do you consolidate or do you make that new low? Do they consolidate, build the base, and give us a buy the dip strat? Shall see. Either way, though, a little more consolidation is going to possibly be needed. Thanks, Bueller. I played that because there was a loss of the 9 EMA, third touch of that 417 and the 23.8. Made 20%, used it as information and looked for supporting info. Okay, good stuff, David. Wow, that is a lot of confirmations on one play. Very, very good job. Round of applause for David, everybody. Hopefully my explanation on moving averages made sense. I was just trying to give you a good example of if you can't explain it, you probably shouldn't have it. Because I always see people with MACD and I'm like, what are you even watching? They're like, I don't know, it does this, I think. Like, is that watching momentum? Are you watching volatility? Like, do you even know what you're watching? Are you watching the, when people have like cash flow index on, they're like, oh, this tells me exactly where it's going to go next. Like, is it? Is that really what it's telling you? I don't know. If you can't explain it, just get it off your screen. I feel like also in the beginning, when you're adding all these indicators, you're in the mindset of like, I need to have all these indicators on. I need to see what works for me. I need to see what's best. When in reality, keeping it simple is actually the best. The simplistic view is the best. Exactly. Buy my indicator. It'll give you a 100% win rate. Which that's another crazy topic, that people even sell indicators when you can literally make any indicator you've seen. Will it be hard to make some over others? Yeah, definitely. Some will be almost impossible to make. Noob, no indicator. Yeah, the stages of trading. It's like the stages of death when you're like, or what do they call that? The 7 stages of death or 5 stages or whatever. It's like that, but with trading. We need to do that. We need to edit a video that has that, but for like trading mistakes and different things as you grow. Experience Pro, very few indicators. And then at the end, no indicators. No volume, no levels, just candles. Guilty, I bought an algo when I started. Hey man, you're not alone. I promise you, tons of people in here have probably done that. That was a very popular thing within the last couple years. In the middle of it all, too, I had made a lot of enemies during that era because I was one of the few people on the other side making those indicators with people like Leland, people like Jason, people who are really good at programming and coding and figuring out indicators as well, really good traders. So combining that, we would go find people's indicators that they're charging people for. So like this one dude had one where he was selling it for $500, and I shit you not, this man was just selling average lines. That's all he was doing. There was nothing in his indicator pack that was like unique or something crazy. It was literally just a bunch of EMAs together, and it was crazy. And he was selling it for like hundreds of dollars. We ended up making the exact same indicator. We posted it in our chat for free. We posted it on Twitter, Discord, everything for free. It was effing crazy though. When we unpacked his indicator, we were like, dude, these are just average lines. I literally went to a second chart. I pulled up his indicator right here. On this chart, I pulled up my own flat screen with nothing on it. I put on the like 9, 21, 50, 100, 200 EMA, It was the exact same screen. There was nothing different except he colored his differently. Ooh, customized the colors on them to make it look different. But it's stuff like that. People used to sell indicators for pre-market high, pre-market low. We came out with that for free. People came out with TTM squeeze. People used to charge people for TTM squeeze. That is a free indicator. That is an indicator anybody can access. It's a subpar strategy, but it's seriously crazy that like that was what was like promoted. Come buy this. Come buy this thing you already have access to. The colors are the key. But I'm not joking, guys. Like I went through all of this. Like it was crazy, and I felt so bad for people. Damn, dude is a genius. Be right back. Gonna go make a website selling the 9 EMA. Yeah, literally. Except mine will be pink. I'll have a dotted line. Charging for TTM squeeze is heathen activities cry. You would be surprised by the people I am currently speaking about. Some of these people still own really big trading groups, and if I was to speak out, would probably start some shit. It's crazy. If you put your crosshairs on the MA as it parches, look left, it says line up with price support. It's interesting when you start to notice things like that. It is, dude. It really is. Just seeing like the price action structure, and then you're like, oh, look, the 9 EMA is kind of doing the same thing. I also like to see this as like just a good median, you know, a good feeler. You know, if I see a huge sell-off and we make it down to support, where are we most likely going to go at least just test, just to kind of get back to just slowing down again? The 9 EMA, it's a very good, you know, you could say the level we broke under, you could say another good level here, but those are always going to be different. What is something that's always going to be following price? The 9 EMA. Let's just start a war alert. No, there's no point. These are the types of wars that no one wins. I hate these people that don't deserve to be rich. No, they don't. They don't. I agree with you. I agree with you, Ton. I just called him Ton, even though that's the word ton. I could have swore I read Tom. But now I'm not starting any shit with anybody. Because y'all are what's important to me. Not looking cool, not being right, not looking correct. Like I don't care about that stuff. Y'all are what's important. And if I start that, this whole Discord gets just chaotic. You just want to play some zombies? Did I promise you I would play? Is that why you're saying that? Or you just had that on your own plan? We're a bit oversold, but it feels like Spy wants a date with the 415s range. Am I crazy? No, you're not crazy. I like your wording too, having a date with it. That's good. I did promise you that? What game did I promise? If I promised that, I would have said Cold War. There's no way I would have said any other game. Yeah, okay, I did say it because you just said it again. Bueller Discord Fortnite scrims. Do I prefer 9 EMA or VWAP on my chart? I like the 9 EMA a little bit more, but I think it's just because I've ended up using it more. I wouldn't necessarily say there's a reason, Christian. But the VWAP is also good. Here, we'll pull the both up and we'll kind of compare them. Now, I will tell you this, though. When I pull up VWAP, by the way, VWAP Custom, the only difference between this and VWAP is that when I pull this up on the daily time frame, it doesn't pop up. Then maybe that. So that's the only difference. It's not like some weird... Again, see, that's another thing. It's like, I could sell this. People don't know how to do this. I'm going to sell it. Like, that's so dumb. When in reality, all it is VWAP is hidden on bigger time frames, but not on smaller. But let's see, which one's VWAP? I should probably change the colors of them. I think I got away from VWAP because I didn't like that it wasn't as tight to price. And that makes sense. That's just what volume-weighted average price is. So this is not going to be as tight to price. Whereas my 9 EMA, or a lower-numbered moving average, is always going to be very close to price. Think of average lines and all these average lines as like boats. Okay, so the smaller number the boat, the faster the boat. These smaller number MAs, moving averages, are always going to be like your little speed boats. They're going to be able to take sharp turns very quickly, and they're going to be able to follow price no matter what, right? Now, move up. Let's go up to like the 100, 200. average lines, these are going to be a lot slower. Think of these as like your tugboats. They're not going to be able to take these sharp turns. They're not going to be able to follow price as quickly. So they're going to be taking a lot smoother of turns, a lot longer of turns. And as price, sells off, they'll be a lot farther away as time goes on. And that's kind of what VWAP is. I'd say like if you had like a scale here, the 9 EMA is like right here, right? This is 0, this is a billion. Yeah, the VWAP is probably like right here. So it's not going to be as tight to price as the 9 EMA. So that's the reason I don't use it over that. Also, when I use the VWAP, which I haven't in a very long time, I just use the middle line. The outside lines are nice to have like parameters, but the middle line is the main thing that you're concerned with. And you can see today, the real only use that you had with VWAP today was kind of the same reason that 9 EMA had some use today, except 9 EMA kept being useful. You can see they just basically went up, they broke over, and then we got a good rejection under both of them, giving you good early on potential signs of potential selling pressure picking back up. But again, like I said, didn't really help you out the rest of the day though. The 9 EMA is just closer to the price, so it's really not fair to say which one's better, VWAP or 9 EMA, because they're not really the same thing. One of them's a little bit more loose. So I just want to give you that answer so it doesn't seem like I'm shitting on one or the other. Gonna make Sinful play too. Oh yeah, if I'm playing, Sinful will be playing. That is for damn sure. And if you're there, he'll definitely be playing. Crazy holding SPX. VWAP gives you direction and then flow the 9. See, everybody has their own uses for it. The Carnival Cruise Line emoji. Or is that Royal Caribbean? SPY at low of day, SPX at low of day. NVIDIA is making a new low of day. Kind of scared to look at what that contract's even at. Oh my god. We're gonna run Tarkov. That is one of my favorite realistic games. I haven't played it in forever. Honestly, though, during the day, I try not to play that many games. I try to focus on just staring at SPY or just being active in chat, just visualizing. It's really good to kind of do all that later in the day. You still have your NVIDIA put? You're insane. By the dip, maybe it's setting up. We have one low. We have an established potential double bottom. What we need to see now is a rising volume cross over the 9 EMA and this resistance right here. So I'll keep my cursor right there. A good eye knocks it. You are correct. Now also be a little careful because, to be fair, we are to the downside. And by a good amount. It's not like we just dropped and went down to one level. We went through the next area to the next area. So it's a little bit different. So we could also just see them range trade and stay under 417.30, 417.60 the rest of the day. Sometimes when you see them take out multiple areas, they like to just keep it in range, close it out. And then overnight they'll make the move and then we're kind of in the same exact seat as we are today, but tomorrow. Again, just to kind of re-update everybody on how you can view this yourself for free. I made this available for free just so you guys can see this, but if you go to the Discord, you join it, all that good stuff, you go to my channel, Bueller-TA, scroll up until you get to the video. Here it is. The video is from Monday. Remember, since it was a long weekend, I didn't do it on Sunday. It was on Monday. But this is the video I do once a week on Sundays normally for my YouTube members. If you are interested, go ahead and join it. But again, I share this every single week with my YouTube members. Links to the ER calendars. We go over economic news. We cover the smaller time frames, bigger time frames. We cover scenarios for each side before the week starts. Timestamps, all the good stuff, other good information. But I would check this out just to kind of get a good info or good peek into how I view the markets before the week starts. It's really good to kind of have this non-biased view, pointing out what scenarios are in front of you for both bull, bear, and possible just range trading. So I wanted to point that out though. So in case you guys missed out or you haven't got to watch it yet, I would watch that. It's free. So go check it out. I have 25 indicators on my chart. Usually one is right. Hey man, that's a 1 in 25 chance, am I right? That's how some people try to sell indicators though, straight up. Like, dude, if you have 50 of these, how are you gonna miss anything? How am I gonna see the chart though? How will I see what's going on? The candles are not all that important. That's good, Byron. You don't need to see the chart. You don't need to see the chart if you're having a seizure attack from looking at all your indicators. Over here foaming at the mouth because I can't see the candles. The goal is to have so many indicators that you can't see the price action. More indicators equals less emotions. Someone's gonna join this and think we're being serious. Don't say sadly a bit of League. Only true gamers play League. I don't play it, but I'm not a true gamer. Sadly, a little bit of League. Such a League player thing to say. Ew, y'all play Val. I say as I play more Dead Val. Rejecting 9 EMA, we're not even getting over the 9 EMA for short-term confirmations, let alone the peak right here. AMD's making a new low. Microsoft's making a new low of day. Nvidia's at low of day. Amazon's at low of day. Tesla's pretty close to their low of day. Same for Google. Meta's not looking too hot, looking a little top heavy. Netflix also looking a little top heavy. SPX still fighting around 4169 area. Damn, tomorrow's levels are going to be easy as hell to grab if we keep selling off like this. Your favorite game is SPX? You're a real one. Wish I put those hours into trading or something. Dude, not even the hours of it, just like going back to just like 16-year-old you or like 15-year-old you. It'd be just nice to get a hold of them and be like, hey, you should do this when you grow up. New low of day. That kind of invalidates potential by the dip setup here. Yeah, it looks like a drop-based drop, honestly. It looks like a little H pattern on the 5-minute. Not even on a bigger time frame, and this looks like it wants to go lower. I bet it looks better the more you zoom out. 10, 15, 20, 30-minute. Hourly, 4 hour. Let's just do that right now. Yeah, 15's already looking a lot better. 30's not even close to what the 5 represents. Hourly's pulling away from supply. And 4 hour has like that buyer, or not buyer candle, but like, you know what I mean. It sold off, then it pulled back up in your day. It broke that support. It's like they wicked up to the halfway point of that, and then pulled back down. And that's where we're getting our sell off from. They are getting pretty close to another bigger level though. That 415.87 is a nice level from bigger time frames. We also have that 2-day ago open at 415. Another level at 414.25. Doesn't look too bad. It's bearish control with, I would say, limited downside. But if we get under 415.87, we could see some very nasty levels again. And remember what I've talked about in the past too, the bigger time frame levels. Technically, we could sell off from here, pull all the way back down, pull all the way back down, and technically still have a bounce pop up at 403.70s. This is essentially where bears need to break out of to really see some really good lower levels, fill some lower gaps, but not a bad start for them either. You see the first time they went up here, slowed down, then they dropped. This time they didn't even bother giving us that in-between candle. They just gapped down today, brought it back down. Nvidia slowing down kind of helped out a lot. I'm not going to say they're a big weight of SPY, but the fact that we were up that much with semis is good. The fact that we're down this much is also good because it shows that we are moving together. So that's a good sign in my opinion. It's not like we have just one sector leading. Technically, you have multiple sectors leading. You have tech, you have comms, you have discretionary. So it's not just one sector up there by itself. Yeah, Nvidia kept going, Leland. You should be up a bag right now. But check this out, guys. This is what I was wanting to show y'all. If you go to stockcharts.com, this is what I was messing with the other night. I thought this was super cool. All right, so let's just look at all the sectors, and then I'll narrow it down more. But let's say over the last, and we can change this too. Let's say over the last year, on the weekly time frame, we'll do something crazy. So over the last 8, should be good, right? Yeah. And then animate. You can animate it. So it kind of shows you like where everything's going. Let me make it a little easier to view though. You can also hold it as much as you want. But see like when SPY, again, the benchmark that I'm looking at is SPY. These are all the sectors of SPY. These are the sectors we go over together. It's kind of cool to just kind of show how they rotate. Here, let me do this so you can see them all a little easier. SPY's pushing up to 415 for the first time again. What are the sectors doing? Banks are leading. Energy is still leading but cooling off. Potentially weakening soon. So is healthcare. Base is still leading, not looking too hot. They're kind of in a non-as volatile part of the chart. And a majority of it, too. The closer you are to the center, the not as volatile you are. This means the more you revolve around the center, this means you're not really moving a whole lot. Exactly. It looks like the solar system. That's actually a great way of putting it. I was saying that to my friend the other day. I was saying it kind of reminds me of like stars and how like planets look and stuff. Like the more you go to the right, it literally looks like I'm watching like you said, the solar system. It looks like I'm watching a bunch of stars. Let's make this a little easier to look at though. Let's take out staples, industrials, real estate. We'll keep banks, we'll keep healthcare, take out utilities, take out base, take out energy, and then we have the top 5 sectors in our benchmark SPY. We'll do the daily time frame. We'll keep it at a year. Update. All right. Let's zoom this out. Oh, of course, it just did all that again. But I thought this was cool because Stock Charts has not had this for the longest time. They've not had a lot of features they've been recently adding. I'm not even promoting them. I just wanted to show you this because I thought this was kind of cool. All right, so there we go. We'll add 14 trading days, and then we can keep animating it, but I kind of like controlling it because it looks easier. So you can see like back in July of 2022, you know, when we were taking that nasty dip on SPY and we were down, it was like 358.50s. You guys all remember that. And then this was that second test when we broke it and then made a double base. You can actually go from there and then kind of go back up and see, all right, well in that first rally, what really brought us back up? And you can see majority of it was at first healthcare. Healthcare, as they started cooling back off, you can see discretionary, tech started picking back up, banks were just kind of chilling, comms are literally at the most non-volatile part of the chart. Let me move this. As we start to get back up there again, you can see comms, discretionary, we're up there. They're now cooling back off. Banks are now turning back around. It's just kind of cool to look through this again. And the other night, everybody in chat, again, if you go to the Discord, scroll up to last night's conversation. There was a lot of talk on this. I dropped a small video on this. Daffy dropped a small video as well. And then we were just kind of messing with some stuff, having fun. Some cool explanations. I would 300% go back up to last night's conversation on NVIDIA and all of the stock chart, RRG chart talk. But I just wanted to show that off. I thought that was kind of cool. You can also do other symbols too. I was just doing the sectors. So let's say you wanted to do just tech. Where's tech at? There it is. So here's all of tech. Let's take out a good portion of this list real quick. Okay, whatever. Leave it at that. Add 6 weeks and then animate. You can see what all tech stocks have done the best, what all have done the worst. I was going to say, I got to zoom it out a lot to probably see how well NVIDIA has been doing. So let's watch NVIDIA. All right, so when they start out, they're right here. Kind of just chilling on that line. Market comes down a little bit. This is, of course, when we still have some of the solar sector coming down. Energy is coming back down. So you can see first solar coming down. That kind of helps us out to remember that. NVIDIA is starting to pick back up. They're already at 105. Start picking back up. On this dip on SPY, or sorry, at tech as it's hitting 125. NVIDIA is at its lowest before it starts ramping back up again. And there it goes. Cooling back off, weakening, weakening. And now it's kind of where we're seeing it now. Where it had its crazy run and now it's finally slowing down. That's pretty cool. I just wanted to show that off. I'll try to bring that up on the stream more if you guys want, or we can apply it to parts of my videos or something. But there's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of information on that stuff. And I just think it's really cool to get that, kind of what our other conversation was earlier, a different view of it, a different perspective. It's just cool to get that visual representation of, all right, this is what the sector rotation has actually looked like. You know, we talk about it every day in here. And I also thought it was cool because exactly how that chart works is exactly how I've been teaching sectors to you guys. I've always taught you guys, draw that line in your head. If you know that NVIDIA is down here and AMD's right here, and then, skip ahead 6 weeks, in your head, AMD is doing this, but NVIDIA has been dropping. What does that tell you? Okay, well, now AMD is stronger than NVIDIA, and if any continuation happens to semis, NVIDIA is in the best spot. If semis start falling back down, AMD is in the best spot, So it just gives you a different kind of view of what it looks like, but it's exactly what I've been kind of showing you guys for all this time now. So I just thought it was cool how it charted it exactly how we've been teaching it. That's just how my brain works, at least, kind of picturing, okay, this is where this sector is, this is where this sector is, let's see where they are in a week, and then kind of going off of that, which one's stronger, which one's weaker. Leland, holy lord. Guys, look at this. Holy. Good stuff, Leland. Very happy for you, man. Always happy to see Leland get that dub. Done for the day. 6 consecutive green days and 30% account growth. Appreciate the streams. Really helps avoid over trading. Going to be extra cautious. Big wins usually precede a loss. Facts. They really do. It's been a minute since I talked about that, but a lot of your biggest losses almost always happen after some of your biggest wins. Or not even some of your biggest wins. Some of your most successful wins. Like, it could have just been a 20% gain, but it might have been your most quality type trade. But good thinking, TJS. I love your mindset. How's it going, party people? What's going on, Jonathan Sherman? How you doing, boss? What's going on, Jesus? How's it hanging up there in Bethlehem? Move any boulders today? Pretty good, boss. 4 for 4. Call me Wendy's. Happy for you, man. See, it's always cool. Like, I could have like a complete shit day or a shit week or even a shit month, and like it still doesn't like get into my head of like, oh, screw these guys, they're doing good and I'm not. Like, it just never hits me like that, I see Sherman or Leland do good, or Mel or Sinful or Bugs or anybody in chat, or Daffy, D-Touch, and I'm still just like so overwhelmingly just happy for them. It's crazy, and that's how you should feel. If you feel any feeling of like, oh, I wish that was me or this or that, like, you're just not in the right mindset. Maybe you just need to take a step back, get out of that disgusting, toxic mindset. You should never look at someone else and say, I wish that was me, or I wish they would stop doing that so I could do that, or anything stupid like that. It just doesn't make sense. You should always be happy for your fellow trader, regardless of how you're doing. If anything, it should inspire you. You're just constantly in awe, and that's okay. If anything, use it. Use it to your advantage. You got to remember, there's so many groups out there where people are not posting like our group is. Where members or leaders in the chat are posting like that. People do not post like that in every group. So 1, take advantage of it. Not everybody has that. 2, use it for motivation. Like, kind of re-adding on to the first point again, taking advantage of it. Use that for your motivation. It is so motivating to just look into chat and see, wow, everybody's kicking ass. I didn't do so well today. All right, well, let's see what I messed up on. Everybody else seemed to have done well. It's so much fun to kind of use it as like motivation, to inspire you, to review, to get better. Everybody really is just kind of sharpening against each other in chat. And it's making everyone grow at such a crazy pace. Oh my god, Jay, good stuff. Y'all are better than me, man. Good job on the NVIDIA hold. That is an insane hold. Yeah, I did, Byron. We were kind of comparing it to like stars and like spinning around or something, but yeah, no, it is just like that. It's a little clockwise rotation. There's people out there who are like, rotation is random. Like, no, it's not. Rotation is so calculated, it's not even funny. And if that RRG chart doesn't show it to you, I don't know what would. Was holding this post, waited for Leland. Oh god. He said, Mel's like, I was just waiting to see if the coast was clear before I posted my big gain to see if I beat Leland or not. But your goal shouldn't be to beat Leland. It should be to always be better than your previous day's self, but I am very happy of the positive competition. Just don't take it any further than that. It's good to compete. It's good to try to do better. Ah, Sherman, I see. That's a good rule of thumb, though. Username actually used to have a really... I always remember this rule, but he used to have a rule where if you got into a swing before close, if it went up like 15 or 20%, he would take profit no matter what. And it was crazy how many times we would see plays like that happen where he'd have a play where he took profit. He'd be like 30% up, and he's like, all right, I'll just take it. We won't need to swing it. Next day, it like does whatever, and then the position's up 200%. It's like, what the... You know, at that point, you're like, damn, I'm dumb. Why did I sell? But in all honesty, you still made the better decision because you didn't know it was going to drop or continue rising, right? You just knew that you hit your parameter, that before close, it hit a pretty good percentage that you had planned. Take profit. I don't see that as a bad thing. I see that as a great thing. But it does suck because you look back and you're like, damn, that's a big gain. But that's the discipline I'm talking about there, which I know Shermy doesn't need to hear this from me, but I'm just speaking in terms for everybody. That is something you'll hear yourself say sometimes. Lean hogs futures really pay. Geesh, a 2-minute scalp is almost $200. Yeah, commodities are a whole nother ball game. Back in that pop, Lee test also. Leland is Naruto, Mel is Sasuke. Good, they can be Naruto and Sasuke. I'll be Guy Sensei. I say Guy Sensei, then you say Madara. So me and Shermy end up fighting. A bod. Dibs on Lee. Hiratachi. Oh, we're just all the coolest characters in Naruto now, aren't we? Nah, Leland would be Kakashi. He would not be Naruto. That is for sure. Leland is not Naruto. Leland is Kakashi. He's calm, he's collected, he's a sniper. He's got the eye of a beast. Super, super disciplined. So yeah, he's Kakashi. And on honestly, that would make Leland Itachi, not Kakashi. Leland not knowing I'm trying to give him like some of the coolest characters in the entire anime. Yo, are we finally getting a close over? We did, let's go. First 5-minute close over the 9 EMA since this morning. I'll make a gaming channel in chat. Y'all keep bringing shit up, and I'm trying to keep things separate. Which again, I'm not getting on to y'all. I'm just gonna make a channel because y'all keep bringing it up, and I need to just make a channel so we can all keep it in one little area. I just don't know where to put it. Alright, you know what I have to do? I'm gonna have to create a whole new category. Alright, pets channel. Gaming channel. Am I missing something? Is there something I'm not thinking of? How many hours do you think you spent building your Discord? Oh my god, that is a good question. Way too long. Honestly, way too long. Because it's not the channels that's hard to do. It's not even like the organization that's a pain in the ass. Sometimes it's like the webhooks, connecting bots, all of that in one, while also the permissions of everything. I'd say the permissions are probably the only time process part. Alright, let's go over Spy one more time. Try to think of something else before I end the stream. Car channel. That'll just be good for off topic, honestly. This is what it looks like now, though. I put it under trade floor. I'll add the permissions in a second so y'all can actually see it. Food porn. Can't type the P word. Food pics. How about that? There you go. Mini, we swung from yesterday into today, so I'll probably wait to see how it holds up. Because we still have a pretty good amount of time today. But that does still look like it has a lot of selling pressure left. It's just, like I said earlier this morning, if you want to as well go back in the stream and watch my first explanation, but I was kind of just comparing it to like Meta and Netflix gaps. Yes, they probably will come down over time, but like I said, over time. It might not all happen all at once. So don't just start jumping into shorts every day. We took shorts from here to here today, so I don't want to, press my luck. But overall, if I still see it sitting like this, you'll probably see a few people post NVIDIA shorts again today. So we'll see. But I just don't want to jump ahead and tell you yes, and then the market pumps rest of day today, and then it's like, well, hold up, that's not right. Also, SPY is perfectly at the 9 EMA on the daily time frame, which again, this was kind of expected to at least test this area. To break it though, not as expected. So we're kind of in a gray area again where bears have shown more strength, but haven't gotten that follow through that they need. They're again right back at a spot where they could defend and get another buy reaction. So back at another 50-50 spot again where bearish control, but we're still holding above. So it really is 50-50 right here. And every day, it seems like every other day is starting to be like this, where like we get a good day of confirmation, we have a good move, and then we're back at like, all right, well, we're 50-50 again. We get a good move, we get a good target hit, and then we're back to saying, all right, it's 50-50 again. You know, so it's kind of like we get a couple days of movement, and then it's back to square one. A couple days of movement, back to square one. So I would stay in this mindset for the next couple months, to be honest. Smaller time frame side of things, very, very easy breakdown this morning. A lot of you guys did good without my help. We drew the previous day low demand, mixed it in with our 418.50 level, gave us a good area here. We ended up getting a good buyer move into this area off of a bigger time frame support. That's about where my cursor is right now. We ended up hitting the top of demand, turning it into supply, rejected, exited. When it exited right here, this is when we knew it was supply, because they went up, couldn't hold it, rejected it, came back out, closed. That is a perfect test to turn demand into supply. To pull away and to break open range was really all that was left. Again, going for pre-market lows at today's open, this was really all that was left before bears could take anything. They ended up getting a really good move again. Even if you go from the point of breakout to the first slowdown, they ended up going back up to the 50%, came back down, tested, did not get any more follow through. So this is probably a good base for the day, and it looks like you're getting a buyer move now, which a lot of us are going to be looking for buy the dip moves now into the mid 417s, higher 417s. But even the most aggressive move, you have to understand that it could slow down once it reaches this point. So if you do end up getting into any buyer moves, expect 418 to have very resilient seller strength. So keep that in mind. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day though. Thank you guys for being in here. I hope you guys enjoyed the little bit extra longer of a stream. Since we're not doing as many streams each week, I want to make them a little bit longer or full of more lessons or just info, which they pretty much all are. There's never really a day where I'm just sitting here quiet. There's always information to cover. But hopefully you guys enjoyed some of the new layout on the list, the news, the stream, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys later on. Be sure to go support the new videos on the channels, guys. Again, you know, I don't really care about this stuff in terms of like, oh, let's go to my YouTube channel. No, but I do want you guys to check this stuff out in terms of being able to watch the new information. Again, this is a 4.5-minute video, one of the first membership videos we put up. We watch this on stream together as well. So watch this video. It's the new video that's put up. And then the big video that was put up, the SPX scalp trading movie. So again, I call it a movie because it is legit 2.5 hours. It's the size of a movie. Go check this video out though. Again, watch it, go through it thoroughly, and then afterwards go through it on your own with your own visual trades and stuff. But hopefully a lot of you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Feel free to tune into the Discord. A lot of people are going to be dropping information, good updates, and I'll be sure to be in there as well. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later on. Thank you guys.